This
around
conference will now be recorded.
out of 14 years, 3 years in PeopleSoft and around 11 years in SuccessFactors. As part of 11 years experience, I have completed around 8 implementation projects and around 3 support projects. So this is regarding me. Just wanted to understand your background so that I can get idea from where exactly I have to start this training. So if in case you guys are working in ERP and if you have experience, the approach will be different. And if in case you guys are not aware of ERP or you don't have any kind of experience in such a cases, the training approach will be different because we need to start with scratch. So just wanted to understand your background in order to proceed. So you can go one by one, quickly brief yourself, and then we can start with the demo. Yeah, Umesh, go ahead.
Hey Rahul, good morning. Start with me. I have approximately 13 years of experience where I worked on different technologies, 7, 8 years on Workday, 2 years on
Okay,
PeopleSoft, and then Oracle for like 1 year. And from the past 2 years, I'm working on SAP SuccessFactor.
okay.
So in
So in
I
which
have
module
done
you are working, Umesh?
so in my current organization, we are dealing with Employee Central,
Mhm,
PMGM,
mhm.
and now we want to be implement payroll.
Okay.
So my keen learning to be attend this session to be understand the payroll aspects, say
Mhm.
how that going to be configured and how can help my current organization.
Okay, fine. Thank you,
Yep.
Umesh.
Thanks,
Hi
Rahul.
sir, hello Rahul sir, good morning.
Hi, Manish. Good morning.
Sir, I am new to this. Basically, I have done my computer science engineering, and for last 3 years I am in IT infrastructure and operations. So currently, with gathering opportunity, I got the new position in my company in SAP profile, SF profile. So that's why I
Okay,
learned want to learn it from scratch to provide them the output.
fine. Thank you, Manish. Shushma, can you please quickly introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. Hi Rahul. Yeah, I'm from .NET technology background. I have total 4+ years of experience in the .NET technology. So I'm planning to change my technology to HR side. So that's the reason I have chosen this training. Yeah, that's it from my end.
Okay, thank you, Sushma.
Thank you.
Sushma, right? Okay.
Yes, Sushma.
Okay, thank you for the quick introduction. So, Umesh, this training is specifically for Employee Central, that is core HR module, as you already know, right? So, this training is not for Employee Central payroll. So, there might be some confusion when
Mm-hmm.
you discuss this with Subbu.
Mm-hmm.
So, just check with him because we are here to take Employee Central module, not Employee Central
Okay.
payroll.
Do you any plan to be conduct any training on ECP?
Yes, we have, but this particular demo we are conducting for Employee Central, and we are going to start the batch soon for Employee Central. But when it comes to ECP, just get in touch with Subbu. He can explain you in detail.
Will do, Rahul.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. As Sushma and Manish, they are not aware of even what exactly ERP is. So let us get started with the basic things from demo itself so that you guys will not miss anything and you will understand completely what exactly ERP. So before we start ERP, So do you guys know what exactly success factors is?
Basically, this is an cloud-based platform. If I say SAP S4 HANA, the HCM, that is on-premise. So all the HR-driven processes which were on-premise are now migrated to cloud. So like hiring to retiring, everything is in happen in SuccessFactors.
Correct. You are right. So basically, ERP means enterprise resource planning, right? And we have various ERPs in the market. So we have PeopleSoft, we have Oracle, we have SuccessFactors, we have Workday, we have SAP, and so on. We have Ramco, and there are several ERPs. But when it comes to ERPs, we have on-premise and also cloud ERP, right? So when it comes to success factors, it is cloud ERP. So what exactly ERP is? You can think of an enterprise resource planning system as glue that binds together the different computer systems for a large organization we can consider. And without an ERP application, each department would have its system optimized for its specific task. With ERP software, each department still have its system, but all of the systems can be accessed through one application with one interface. That is called ERP. That is Enterprise Resource Planning. Yes, as you mentioned, Manish, SuccessFactors is HR application offered by SAP and which is most commonly used. And this is cloud based, that means offered as a SaaS, that is software as a service, and which is used to manage end-to-end HR business processes. That means we are managing employee data from hire to retirement. So is that easy? When we say we will manage employee data from hire to retirement, so it looks simple, right? But no, we'll be having lot of processes defined for each organization. Will be having lot of modules. For example, consider we want to hire one employee in any organization. Can we directly hire employee? No, right? There will be lot of homework which we need to do. So we need to create position. We need to get it approved. They will check the budget, and based on that they will approve. Once the position is approved, then we'll create a requisition, and requisition will be reviewed, and after that we'll post internally or outside, right? Outside in the sense on LinkedIn or Naukri, Monster, and so on, okay, to hire talent from the market. So once we actually post requisitions, candidates will apply to it. Once candidates will apply, for example, consider we have only two position open and there are actually 100 candidates applied to it. So we have to source that, right? That means actually only the suitable candidates we need to select. Once we select, we have to schedule an interview. Once we schedule interview, candidate has to go through the interview process, that is round one, round two, round. So once the candidate will go through interview process, and if they clear all the interview rounds, then we need to release offer. Once we release offer, candidate has to accept the offer. Once candidate accepts, their onboarding process will start. That means we'll be having admin activities wherein actually admin will review the data which candidate has provided. After that, some sort of engagement activities candidate will go through. That means actually connecting with managers, okay, and there are several other activities, okay, which will be part of again onboarding model. Once candidate joins the organization, their hire record will reflect in Employee Central. So when we say hire record, we'll be having lot of portlets, lot of data related to candidate. And once we hire, as part of employees' engagement in the organization, we will be performing various transactions, right? Once employees hired, there might be chances that after 2 years employees getting transferred, or employees getting promoted, or employees uh, employees data is changing, if in case we are doing reorganization. So there are several things. So apart from that, this data, core HR data, which is there in Employee Central, that will be utilized by all other modules, right? We have we have all different modules, right? To recruit employee, we have RCM, that is recruiting model. For onboarding, we have a separate model, onboarding model. For core HR data, we have Employee Central. Performance and goal management, we have PMGM and also succession. Apart from that, we have learning management, compensation, Employee Central, payroll, and so on, that we will see. Okay. So for now, at least you know, when we say ERP, that is enterprise resource planning, we have various ERPs in the market, and few ERPs are in the cloud. And when it comes to success factors, it is a cloud ERP. So it is completely SaaS based. That we'll see. Okay. Before that, let us go through the history of success factors. So success factors was founded in 2001 by Lars Dalgaard, and SAP has acquired this ERP in Feb 2012, and after that the company is officially called as SAP SuccessFactors. Okay, now when we say SuccessFactors, it is SaaS based, right? So we have something called SaaS and PaaS, correct? Both are cloud based services. So when we say SaaS, that is software as a service, and when we say PaaS, platform as a service. Now when we say SaaS vendors host and maintain the application software. Okay, that means the system is ready to use. That means SuccessFactors has studied all the standard processes across big organizations, and also all the processes which are defined after research, and they have built system based on that. That means they have all the standard processes, and we have those processes in the system, and system is ready to use. But is that possible to use system directly for any organization? No, right? So each organization will be having their own processes, custom processes. So we have to customize the system. When we say we have to customize, as a consultant, there will be lot of work. Okay, so as Umesh is working from 2 years, he might be knowing, will play with data, will play with configuration. Okay, so when it comes to configuration, we have a lot of things in the system, and because each organization will be having their own processes, and we have to implement those processes in the system. Okay, if that is the case, actually, who is the competitor of success factors? So we have Workday. Again, that is cloud ERP. Workday is competitor of SuccessFactors. But when we say Workday is competitor, so I can see in last 10 years, SuccessFactors has improved a lot. After SAP acquired SuccessFactors in 2012, it has integrated all the modules, and also with SAP modules, SAP on-premise. So We have something called cloud platform integration, by using which we can integrate, and all the standard integration already SAP has provided, and which is easy to manage and maintain. Okay. So as all the companies or organization, they are using most of the SAP products across globe. I think around 60 to 70% organizations are using SAP. For example, consider we have a client who is in supply chain management. They can use various models of SAP. When it comes to HR application, they can use SuccessFactors so that it is easy to integrate. Similarly, if consider we have organization which is in manufacturing or which is in energy and energy, that means oil and gas. Okay, such a big organizations, they will be using most of the SAP applications, and they can use SuccessFactors so that it will be easy to integrate. So we have a lot of clients in SuccessFactors, including big clients like Microsoft. We have Cargill, and some of the models even Google has implemented. Apart from that, the big organizations like Deloitte has implemented SuccessFactors, and we have actually a lot of other big clients in SuccessFactors. Okay. That is fine. For now, at least we know what exactly ERP is. We will go in detail when we'll start the class soon. Okay, for now, you need to understand what is ERP. ERP is Enterprise Resource Planning, wherein actually we'll be maintaining data of employee from hire to retirement. When it comes to SuccessFactors history, it has started in 2001, and in 2012, SAP has acquired SuccessFactors. And from 2012, we have seen a lot of enhancement or improvement when it comes to SuccessFactors. So let us see uh, the various models of SuccessFactors. Okay. When it comes to SuccessFactors, we have mobile app. Okay, that is not a separate model, but for all models, we can use mobile app. Okay, we have analytics, that is for reporting purpose. We can create various reports. We have various types of reports here. We have table report, we have canvas, we have story report, that we'll see later. So major models are reporting. We have actually recruiting and onboarding, which we have just seen. So we have to create a position, we have to create requisition, and then we have to post. We have to actually source the resume. After that, actually, candidate will go through the recruiting process. That is round one, round two, round three, consider, and HR round. After that, actually, we will release a offer if candidate is selected, and once candidate will accept, that will go from recruitment model to onboarding model. In onboarding model, candidate has to provide all the details, and HR admin will review the data which candidate enters, and candidate has to go through some sort of engagement activities. Once the candidate joins, candidate will reflect in the core HR system, that is employee central. We also have something called learning model. Okay, wherein as part of employee engagement, a employee has to complete all the trainings related to compliance. For example, consider data privacy or any other trainings. Okay, which are mandatory for organization. Apart from that, if in case employee want to switch or change the job within the organization, employee can opt for various trainings and go through it. So we have various type of trainings, like we have online training, we have curricula. Apart from that, we have actually classroom trainings, we have programs, and so on. So those all will be in learning mode. So basically, learning module is to enhance skills of employees who are working for organization. Performance management. Basically, here goals and objectives will be set, and on a yearly basis, will be having appraisal, right? So everything from end to end will be handled in performance management. We have compensation management. This is basically for compensation, we can say salary. Okay, so everything will be handled here in compensation management. Succession and development, if in case someone is leaving or someone is critical or some positions are critical, for that actually we are using succession and development. Okay, so these are all called talent models, and we have a core HR model that is called employee central. Apart from that, we have something called employee central payroll, which is to process payroll of employees. So we have these various models in success factors, but employee central is core, and from employee centers data will be shared with other models, that is performance, compensation, learning, employee central payroll. And if in case consider, we have other third party applications like benefit. Okay, now we'll share data with the benefit model, and if in case we are using success factors benefit, then actually we can benefits can use data from employee central. So employee central is core HR module, which is one of the largest module in success factor. So let us go to next slide. So what is success factors? We already know it is cloud based ERP, which is built on SaaS, that is software as a service, and we have various model. For payroll, we have employee central payroll. For compensation, to manage salaries of employee, we have compensation model. We have time and attendance in order to track attendance and also the leaves of employee. We have time and attendance model. For training, we have learning management model. For performance and management, we have PMCM model, performance and goal management, that is HR document. For all the HR processes, we have employee central. Recruitment, for recruitment processes, we have recruitment model, and we have onboarding model for onboarding processes. Okay, so these are the various models we have in success factors. So when it comes to success factors, we have very user friendly interface. We can see here all the details we can see on the home page, which is which I can say is a good interface which we have. Actually, we have to do items for us. We have news, my team. We can view entire team from here, leave of options of the team, or if in case actually some team members are on leave, employees can see that. Our manager, they can actually directly go here and access their entire team structure, and they can perform transactions on the reportees. Our employees can just access peers to see who are on leave. There are actually various activities or various icons we can see here. And apart from that, my stuff, so whatever stuff which you need to do actually. For example, consider your profile. So how much percentage you have completed, and few things you need to update, you can go from here and update. And there are a lot of things actually. If something is actually pending for you, uh, when it comes to trainings, then you can come here and attend. And there are several things which we'll see later. Okay, so when it comes to employee profile, again we can see the interface is very friendly. So we'll go through each and every section and each and every field of it later in our classes. So this was the old home page, and now the new home page has been changed recently from last 2 years. So we can see here the header, and after that this is also called banner. So based on organization's requirement, we can change banner, and also we can customize based on the department or division, or we can default it, that we'll see. And after that, we have quick actions. From here only, employee can just directly click and perform the transactions. For example, employee can go to their profile, they can apply leaves, or they can actually update their address, or they can change few things which are allowed for employee to do. And also they can actually activate mobile app. For example, consider you are a manager, so you can activate a mobile app and someone is going on leave of absence or on leave. No need to log into your system, just actually access from mobile and you can view and approve it from mobile itself. Employees can also access mobile app for the basic things. So if in case consider they want to apply for leave, they can actually just log into their they can access the app from their mobile and they can apply. So we have various functionalities including actually learning, management, reporting, and there are several which we'll see in detail. If in case employee want to actually take survey, employee can take directly. This is for you today. If in case something is pending for your approval, as a manager, HR admin, actually you can see here all the notifications. And if there are organizational updates, actually they can post here and employees can view from here. So there are several things. Okay, but this is how the home page will look like. Behind the scene we have a lot of things to do. Okay, fine. So mobile functionality, employees can see, okay, their peers who are on leave, or they can actually apply for leave, and managers will receive a notification or approval based on organization's requirement. Okay, how the system is configured, and manager can directly approve from here. Apart from that, there are several other transactions employee and managers and admins can do from mobile application. Okay, let us see what exactly employee central is. Okay, so when we say employee central, we are managing or maintaining master data of employees. So when we are saying master data, again that is divided into two, that is foundation data and employee data, that we will see later. So for now, when we say employee central, we have to just understand that we are managing or maintaining employee records from hire to retirement in employee central. When it comes to employee records, we can say we'll be having all the transactions from hire to retirement. That means we can say employee central is table of employee records. We may be having hire record, then we may be having promotion record, we may be having transfer record, manager change record, data change record, reorganization record, and there will be several transactions, right? So basically employee central, we are managing employee data, that is table of employee records, we can say. Okay, fine. In order to maintain employee records, we'll be having a various processes. So all the processes which are required to manage or maintain employee data, already SuccessFactors has delivered us. We need to customize based on client's requirement. So apart from that, for example, consider our business is in 80 or 90 countries. So we'll be having a country specific legal requirement, right? Such a requirements also SuccessFactors has already provided, but we can customize based on client's need. Okay. So that means whatever SuccessFactors has provided right now, which is having a operational efficiency and workforce insight, and all the legal compliance processes across 89 countries already SuccessFactors has delivered. Okay, so that no need for clients to worry about any compliance processes. But if in case actually they have any for their country, they can still customize or configure it. So apart from whatever the global processes SuccessFactors has provided. If you want to use, we can use. If you don't want to use, we can just deactivate or inactivate them. And also whatever processes client need, we can either customize existing processes or we can create a new processes that we'll see. So how exactly we'll create the section, how exactly we'll create the workflow, and apart from that, yeah, there are a lot of functionalities in SuccessFactors. So how exactly the employee profile should look like, we can actually see the various sections, and there are several other things, okay, which we need to customize or configure based on clients. Okay, so when we say employee central, that is core HR module, which will be having HR transactions. So we have two type of transactions here: effective dated and non-effective dated, that we'll see later in detail. In HR transactions, we'll be having employee self-service. For example, consider I need to change my marital status. I can go and change. I can, if I want to change my last name, I can go and change. If in case I want to update my address, I can go and update. So we have employee self-service for employees to go and change the details. So how exactly we are managing this? We have something called RBP, or that is a robust security module provided by SuccessFactors, by using which we can control access at granular level, that we'll see in our classes. We have manager self-service for manager to perform transaction on employee, certain transactions. So when it comes to SuccessFactors, we are planning to reduce the burden from HR department. That means we are providing access to managers. So whatever transactions HRs are performing, managers can perform, so that we can save a lot of time. But that is again completely depend on the organization, to which role they want to give access to perform what kind of transactions. So we'll do new hire or onboarding. So in new hires, we can hire directly in the system, or those can come from onboarding model. From onboarding model, we have a tool called manage pending hires. From there, actually, we can process employees. That we'll see later. So we can do changes to employee data, like actually manager change, okay, data change, promotion, demotion, transfer, those kind of actually transactions we do. And also, if employee is leaving organization or employee got retired, in such cases, actually will terminate the employee in HR transactions. Back changes also we can do. For example, consider our organization is getting changed. That means we are doing reorganization. So all our actually business unit, division, departments, everything is getting changed. I mean, actually we are changing the verticals. In such cases, that should reflect in employee data. Employee should assign to the new structure. In such cases, we have to do reorganization. So when we are doing reorganization, it will impact a lot of employees in the organization, which belongs to those business units or those legal entities or divisions. In such cases, we have functionality to do back changes as well. We can actually do transactions on bulk of employees at a time, or we can update data, or we can create a new report, that we'll see later. But we have that functionality, and that applies to position as well. And also we have something called global assignment. So if in case consider employees going on global assignment, that is from one country to other country, that is long term assignment or short term assignment consider. So we need to manage their all the requests, and also we need to manage their payroll, and also we need to manage their data, okay. So for that, we have something called global assignment, by using which we will manage short and long term assignments. We have position management. Again, this is part of employee central. So that we'll see later. But right now, actually, we need to understand from here. Actually, we'll create a positions, and we'll track vacancies, and we'll create a requisition, and the recruitment process will start. So we have a lot of things in position management. It is not that simple as we are seeing here, but we'll go in detail. We have time management. In time management, we have a lot of things here. We employees can apply for leave. We can create various type of leaves, that is time types. And after that, when actually we are moving from one year to another year, definitely some leaves of employee should carry forward. So we have a lot of processes for that. We have actually accrual processing rules. We have accounts overview. We have something called work schedule and holiday calendar. So when employee can apply a leave. So what all the work schedules assigned to employee. For example, consider manufacturing companies. They might actually give off on Wednesday, but IT companies they will give off on Saturday, Sunday. In such cases, employee should not apply leave, right? So already in system, it is considered as a leave. Apart from that, actually we have a lot of other things. Okay, that we'll see in timesheet. So we have here LOA, that is leave of options, and apart from that, we have time off and attendance. So that we'll see later. Apart from that, as part of employee central, we will be having a reporting, that is analytics. Okay, wherein actually we'll create various reports which are required for organization in order to analyze several things in the organization. Okay, now we know in employee central we are managing or maintaining employee data. We can maintain data in Excel as well, right? Why we need actually HR system for that? But when we are managing or maintaining, how exactly we are passing on that data to other models for various processing? Is that data is good data? No, right? So we cannot manage or maintain. If there are actually one or two employees or five or 10 employees, we can do. But we have actually lakhs of employees, then is it possible? Not at all. So in order to process payroll, or in order to process benefit, or in order to process leaves, or in order to process time off and attendance, and in order to process all the transactions or trainings related to learning, or in order to process appraisal cycle, in performance and goal management, we need a good data. That means we need 100% accurate data. In order to have good data, we should have a HR system. If that is the case, why we need a good HR data? We need good and clean HR data so that we can know state of organization's employee resources. So HR departments are being seen in more strategic role and are often called upon to provide a strategic insight into organizations employee space. So there will be a lot of analysis, right, when it comes to HR department. So their role is very strategic and they need to provide insight. So strategic insight to uh, the management, and for that definitely we need a good data in the system. And when we maintain good HR data, in such a cases we can manage or maintain our company or organization in very good manner. Otherwise there might be actually a shortage of high potential resources, and there will be there might be lot of vacancies, because how will come to know if you don't have a clean data? So how many vacancies are there? Okay, whether we have potential resources to perform some tasks as part of new project or as part of existing process, how will come to know? So for that we should have good HR data so that they can actually fetch a report and they can analyze it quickly. And good and complete data is needed for strong reporting and local compliance. Apart from that, what HR department is doing, will be having a labor department, or we will be having a legal or compliance department for each countries, and they will be having various processes and various departments to which actually organization has to submit the data. For that, actually, we should have a good and complete data so that we will not be having any compliance issues. If there is any data breach or compliance issue in such a cases, organizations will be fined, and that fine will be very huge. So it is always better to maintain good and complete data, and for that we need a HR application. So what exactly will happen if we have incomplete or incorrect data? That will lead to a lot of issues, right? With staffing and payroll, particularly understaffed or overstaffed. Okay, we'll never know. We can overpay, underpay, or will not pay to some employees, right? So good data or good HR data and also a good HR application is required to manage or maintain all the processes properly in the system. So we should have a good HR application to maintain a good HR data. So how exactly we'll be doing a how exactly we'll be maintaining a good data? For example, consider company. It is a required field on employee. So whenever HR admin is hiring employee, all the data which is required, they need to enter. Not only company consider actually as part of compliance or as part of legal requirement, we need to provide data to compliance department of that particular legal entity or country. In such a cases, if that is mandatory, we can make a field mandatory so that HR admin will not miss to enter the data. And consider actually they need to enter just the numbers and they should not enter any other things. In such a cases, we can actually use field type like number, dates, text based on the requirement so that they can enter only that data. In some cases, if they have free text, for example, consider country or state, they can enter any, right? They can sometimes enter India, they can sometimes enter IND. For such a cases, we have something called pick list, that is a smart list we can create so that employees can just pick from that. Okay, the drop down list, no need to enter, so that we'll be having the accurate data. Apart from that, we'll be having pre-built format validation for national IDs and all in SuccessFactors so that it will validate national ID format of employee so that will not be entering any wrong data. For some of the countries behind the scene, we have algorithm also. It will check the national ID and it will validate whether the provided national ID correct or not. That we'll see in detail in our classes. So apart from that, if in case consider you want to actually default something for particular state or particular department or division, some values should be defaulted. In such a cases, we have business rule by using which we can default, or we can select the value based on the parent value and so on. That we'll see. Or we can calculate if we have actually some fields for calculation based on other fields values, it should calculate. So sometimes actually we may enter wrongly, right? In such a cases, we can ask system to calculate and enter that value. So that also can be possible by using business rules so that we can avoid manual errors. And we have something called event and event reasons. So for each record in employee central, particularly when it comes to employment, so we have event and event reason by using which we can determine okay the trend in the organization, what exactly is happening. Okay, and that is good for HR department to analyze. Apart from that, HR admins can receive system alerts when data is bad or inconsistent. That also we can configure. Okay. So in order to maintain good data, we have there several things which actually we can use so that they can whoever is entering the data, they can enter the data, and if in case there is any bad data, that also we can review and we can correct it. Okay. So here in pictorial representation, we can see one example. This is how the employee profile looks like. For example, consider a national ID. So already we have a national ID format provided by SuccessFactors, and behind the scene we have validation for few countries algorithms. They will validate. So we can see the format. So when someone is entering the data, they will come to know that actually whatever for data provided by candidate or whatever data they have received, that is correct or not. So we have a format. When we will enter, it will automatically convert in that format. If that format is not matching, for example, consider here we have actually 9 digit, but if someone is entering 10 digit, it will not take in the format, as well as it will throw error. Okay, and when you will enter just the 9 digit, it will actually automatically convert into that particular format. Here we can see address information. In address information, we can define country specific addresses, country specific address formats for each country. And also if in case actually something that is pending for approval, we can see that here in the system. Okay, for example, this one effective dating, this is mandatory. All the mandatory fields will be displayed with asterisk or star symbol, so that whoever is entering data, they should know actually this is mandatory field. This is just an example. We may be having a lot of mandatory fields, for example first name, last name, so that we can say required fields. Without that, system will not allow you to proceed, so it will throw error and you need to enter the mandatory fields. And each record will be having effective dating, so that means when that record is created, or when that record is effective from that, that also we can track. Okay. So apart from that, so if employee will enter the data, right, they can enter it wrongly. For example, this one here we can see drop down arrow, we have pick list. Pick list means smart list, from that employee can pick rather than just entering the data. So sometimes, for example, here English, someone will enter the English in capital letter, someone will enter in small letter, someone will enter ENG. So in order to avoid all the data discrepancies, we have something called pick list, which is smart list, which we can create and use. Okay. And also we have actually data types, that is data and all, which we can use. For example, if I will enter 0 on 0 on 1900 or 0 on 0 on 1987, automatically it will convert that into date format. So all the employees will be having the appropriate date formats. So there are several other things which we can see. Okay. Any questions, guys, so far? Okay. So when it comes to HR transactions, we have seen employee can do few transactions, manager can do some sort of transactions, and admins can do other transactions. That is completely depend on organization's requirement. So when we say employee self service, so basically majorly employee will be changing their address, personal contact information like home phone, home email, etc., and direct deposit information. This is payment information, that is their bank related information. Apart from that, actually few things related to personal information they can change. That is completely depend on the organization whether they want employee to allow or not, and which can be controlled by using RBP, that is security, what permission employee should have, that is authorization. Manager self service, they can actually do basic changes to team members. Those changes are related to job and employment information, but not related to personal information of employee. So job changes they can do, they can actually promote, they can actually demote, or they can terminate employee, or they can do data changes, or they can transfer, and they can actually include some transaction related to even pay increases, And there are several things managers can do that is completely based on the organization. So what manager role will be performing and what kind of authorization will provide in success factors to manager. Okay. So when someone is doing changes, for example, consider employees changing, uh, consider the first last name. Okay. So once the employee will change last name, whether it should automatically reflect in the system. If so, the employee will enter it wrongly, it will automatically reflect in the system, right? So in order to actually maintain clean data in success factors, we have something called workflow. So for example, consider our organization has a requirement. When actually employee will change their last name, it has to trigger a workflow to HR or HR admin we can say, or HR BP we can say, and employee has to attach a document. Okay, so that HR admin will review what employee has changed last name, and HR admin will check the document, and it will check whether it is matching or not. Once HR admin will approve, it has to reflect in the system. So in order to maintain or manage proper or clean data or good data in the system, we have something called workflows which we can use. So if in case consider HR admin want to change something, in such a cases, workflow should not trigger, right? In such a cases, uh, those changes can directly reflect in the system. So that is completely depend on the requirement. So how exactly we want to set up the processes in the organization. Okay. So we have something called workflows, right? Workflows actually behind the scene we can define so that for each processes we will be having workflows, and those will go through the hierarchy of approvals, and once those are approved, those transactions will reflect in the system. And when we say workflow, for each step we will be having a notification which will be triggered, and when the notifications are triggered from directly their email box, they can just click on the link and they can go to the transaction review, either approve or reject. Okay, and if that notification just for their information, then just it will notify them and they should be aware of it, that what has happened in the system for particular employee. Okay. I think we are running out of time. We have few other things to cover as well, but that we'll see in our regular classes. So for any doubts, guys, so here actually we have workflow notifications, which just we have discussed. There are various type of notifications when workflow is initiated. It will trigger a notification. When workflow is approved, it will trigger a notification. When workflow is completed, it will trigger a notification. When we say approve, there will be multiple approvals, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3, and when we say complete, entire workflow when completes, it will trigger a notification. For example, someone needs just the CC, that is kind of information. In such a cases we can set up that too. Okay, if in case actually we want to contribute someone to that workflow, okay, as part of HR department, some workflow has triggered, but someone is responsible to contribute in order to review and know, and someone is responsible to approve. So contribution is also possible. That we'll see in detail how exactly we'll configure that. Okay. So we can actually define workflows for various processes like hire, new, transfer, promotion. So different type of workflows based on the organization's requirement. We can actually we can also set up workflows for personal data change, national ID, even address. If in case someone is changing address and they want to really validate it, so that is completely based on the organization. So that only valid data will be having in the system, or good data in the system, that will see later. So here we can see when the workflow will trigger, this will look like this. Actually we have approver, we have contributor, we have actually CC role. We will see in detail what exactly these are. Okay. Fine. With this, we have completed our demo session. Any questions, guys, so far?
Not from my side, Rahul. I'm good.
Okay. Thank you, Umesh, Manish, and Sushma.
No,
So,
sir.
yes, both of you are mm, very new to success factors. So, we'll start from scratch. We'll start from what exactly ERP is, and then what exactly cloud ERP, even from basic things like how exactly we log in, what exactly instance, what exactly provisioning is. As a consultant, what will be our role as part of implementation and support, what we'll be doing. Okay, so we'll cover all the things from scratch. Okay, so no need to worry. Okay, so we'll be starting our batch soon. So Bo will get in touch with you, and accordingly we'll proceed. Okay, if you guys don't have any questions, then I think we are good to close this session, right?
Thanks, Rahul. Thanks for your time, Rahul.
Thank you,
No
Rahul.
problem.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you all for joining
Yeah.
and wish you a great day ahead. Bye bye.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.